Hello,
Hello,
I'm Kate Butch,
and I'm Caitlin Powell.
and this is Queers Gone By, the podcast where we talk about nostalgic film, TV, and snacks, and try to work out if that's what made us queer.
Oh, it's a podcast
Today.
now.
It's always been
I thought it was show. Or do we always say podcast? Have I gone?
No, we do always... I decided to change it, bring the changes, it has always been a podcast.
Honestly, Kate, be the change you want to see in the world. And if that's your priority, all power to you.
I felt a bit weird saying it. I thought I'd give it a go, test it out, maybe see if I could slip it by everyone without them noticing. So thanks.
I called it out immediately. But today
it's June Whitfield June. We're carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back again.
With excellence. Oh my god.
Sheer excellence.
Yes. Honestly, I think this is a direct comparison to last week. Which was not only not excellence, but also, in retrospect, the whitest thing I've ever seen. I spent most of the episode I see what you were going for.
Mm.
It didn't come to fruition.
But this bloody did.
Oh, it's so good.
It's 1978's classic.
Oh yeah, take them back. Oh wait, you mean, I thought you meant picture the scene, it's 19...
No, it's just a film from 1970.
Although, imagine seeing this in cinemas.
I don't think many people did.
Oh no.
From what I can glean.
I also saw, very briefly that this had a massive, they really struggled to get it off the ground because of money. And I was like, well, your sets are insane.
Yeah.
If you budged a little on the set design.
And there's, thousands of extras.
Yeah.
They all have about 12 costumes each.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
This is impressive. It made a loss.
Oh, God, that's so depressing. Consider it's so good.
And it was kind of the death knell for that time of black cinema.
It was
certainly
it was what of it?
It was this failure has meant that we will not be funding
what
black-led films for a long time.
But hang on, okay, it may not have been a commercial success, but didn't it win awards?
It was nominated for 4 Oscars.
Yeah, and the Wizards, the original Broadway production, that won Tonys. That
one has the Tonys and things.
The Lion is the same lion. I researched. Oh, yes. We're reviewing The Wiz.
It's The Wiz. Sorry, The Wiz. I mean, if you haven't read the bloody titles every time, guys.
Yeah, it's The Wiz.
It's the bloody Wiz. Of course it is.
So good.
I feel like before we get into it, should we address the paedophile-shaped elephant in the room?
He's
in there with you. Watch out.
The paedophile elephant stuffed with garbage.
Michael Jackson is in this film. An 18-year-old Michael Jackson.
He was 18?
I think he's 18. He's very young.
Wow.
See,
now, in what I just said, that is the whole thing, right? He is clearly one of the most talented performers of his generation.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. I've lost myself. What were you going to say? The issue is, he is...
He was very likely to be a paedophile.
Yeah. I was also going to ask you, because I was, researching for, the definite answer. Is it that we don't know, but it's very likely?
Yeah, I mean, I
always assumed it was true because, not to do the whole, there's no smoke without fire, but he did build a whole, little Disneyland thing for the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tend to, obviously, if, anyone says that, they were sexually assaulted, I feel like we should believe them.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been people who have said, yes, I was assaulted by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So I feel like we probably should believe them.
Yeah, absolutely. it was really, I do somewhat understand the people who are massive fans. Because when you read his wiki and you get to that section, because I was trying to like work out what the timeline was. Number one, the claim started early. Like, it's like a few years after this came out.
Oh, God.
The first one's like 93, I think, which is 5 years later, yeah?
15.
Wait, when did this come out?
This is 78.
Oh, I thought it was 87! Ah! Anyway, still, like, 93, so they were going on for a while. But when you get to that part of it, like, there's loads of little bits in the wiki that if you were looking to believe, you could, like, pick them out and go, oh, so it isn't real. You know what I mean? Like, I do understand, having researched, why people don't believe it. Not saying I don't, I do. But, like, I understand why it's a bit now, because I used to think it was just people, like, standing by their celebrity, you know? Well, it is.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, I don't know, like, where any of this, like, how we're gonna justify, because you can separate the art from the artist somewhat.
Yeah, and it does kind of piss me off when people say you literally, that there are no circumstances where you can't. I'm like, he is dead. He's not hurting anyone anymore.
Also, if he was 18 at the time, he probably wasn't a paedophile just yet.
Well, there are 18-year-olds who find out they're attracted to young children.
Okay, so he could be a newly minted paedophile. I don't know.
Newly minted!
Side note, this has been in the news. John Grisham.
Who's that?
He's an author. John Grisham's like a billionaire author.
Yeah. I know who that is. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
This week in Billionaire Authors Are Wild. He said, not all men who watch child pornography are paedophiles. And everyone was like, we didn't ask for you to say this. Like, why have you...
That sounds like the random insertion of a man who watches child pornography.
So if you'd kept quiet, we wouldn't have suspected you.
Oh, no, that is awful.
Oh. Weird. Anyway, John Grisham isn't in this.
Yeah, I guess what we're saying is, like, we're probably not going to be celebrating... He is good in this. He's not the best actor in the world, I will say.
No.
But he's clearly an excellent, like, dancer and singer. That has been established for the past, like, 50 years? Like, we knew he was good.
Yeah.
And there's this weird... This is a bit of a tangent, so I am sorry, you can cut it if you think it's pointless, but there's this weird trend I've seen on Twitter at the moment, and it's been around for a while, but it became really big with Sherry Pie, where people seem to think they're in some sort of activism contest, and the way they can win it is claiming that people who are talented aren't talented. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw so many people being like, Sherry Pie is an awful drag queen. And I'm like, she's not, though. She's an awful person.
Yeah.
And I think it's actively a bit dangerous, especially with more high-level people, to claim that because their talent leading to fame, money, power is the reason they gain access to vulnerable people.
Yeah.
You know? So I just don't see why that's become a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also the people who, like, were tweeting, Sherry Pie's amazing, fuck you all. I was like, read the room. Fuck you. See, I guess what we're saying is we are operating the middle ground in those two opinions, but for Michael Jackson.
We're also saying don't be a paedophile because it's a bad thing to be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, if there was one takeaway... Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Oh, no, side note. I remember when Michael Jackson died. Was it, 2009?
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, maybe.
And people in my IT class, I don't know why I specifically remember it being my IT class, the girl on the computer next to me, she was a big Michael Jackson fan, and she was like, this is the saddest thing ever. He's got all these hit songs. And I was like, I don't know any of these songs, but I have definitely seen the film The Wiz several thousand times. And that's where I know Michael Jackson from.
You're like, R.I.P., R.I.P. R.I.P. Scarecrow. Also, son, I don't know, like, I'm just really worried people are gonna, like, get annoyed at us for not, like, we've condemned him, but, like, you know...
Yeah.
Are we fine to talk about him?
I don't...
In
who
a
can
film?
say?
I don't know. It's not like we're being those people who just out of nowhere will go, like, you know who's great? Woody Allen. And it's like, no. Stop it.
I'm hoping that people have gleaned from the previous 48 episodes and the countless Tracy Tuesdays that we aren't awful people.
Well...
Oh no, okay. We're awful... we're bad people. But we don't do bad things, and we don't encourage or condone bad things.
We are bad people, but with quite strong social morals.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like... We're
lawful bad, no? Chaotic
lawfully
bad.
Wait, are we...
Lawfully... We're evil. Are
we chaotic good?
Basically,
or lawful
we're
evil?
cunts, but we're not cunts.
Yeah, Michael Jackson's dead. He's not touching up anyone. If it was alive, it'd be different. Anyway.
Let's talk about this damn film. The film...
I feel like we handled that sensitively. Fuck me.
Right, so the very opening of this film with the Universal logo and this... Can we talk about the soundtrack?
I hope we will, yes.
As the Universal picture happens. And
yeah,
I
which
do
is
actually,
the only
I forgot
song
to
I
mention...
knew before.
Oh, well,
so I was like,
I've got
a
very nice little addendum object. Here she is.
Oh, that's camp.
My double vinyl LP of the Wiz soundtrack with a little insert with lyrics and behind the scenes images.
Oh my god!
I have this on DVD. I can't express to you enough how much I love this film.
I love this.
It's awful
so much,
but it's such a good film.
How is it awful?
There are some bad bits.
Oh,
it's not awful.
I was going to say
this. I think I've kind of realised watching it today why I love it, and it's because it's similar to my love of, theme park rides that take place inside.
Yes.
Like the Disneyland ones and it's kind of like there is danger, but there's also no danger. Do you know what I mean? Especially like water rides inside, and you're like, I could fall in and drown, but I'm not gonna.
I understand, but I'm looking forward to you try and relate this back to a musical.
It's very claustrophobic, but in a wide open space.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because like the sets, as we've said, are huge.
Yeah.
But there's also like 3 people on them.
Yeah. Wait.
Which might be the opposite of claustrophobic.
Yes, agoraphobic?
It's agoraphobic. He fell off a diving board in Guernsey. I don't know what it is with it. But yeah, I couldn't find the DVD this morning when I tried to watch it. I was fuming. I was turned my house upside down, so I just watched it illegally online because I've already paid for it. So
yeah, I had to pay Mr. Jeffrey Bezos for it, so I don't feel good about that. It's not my account. It was my dad's account. So
that's fair.
So wait, is that worse? I don't know.
You've enacted your father in it. That's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got this album, this double LP.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called? I don't know. There's 2 discs.
I feel this may be unfair. Apart from the final song, I feel like they kind of did Diana a bit dirty with her solos. They're all very sad.
On the soundtrack, she's got a really good song called "Is This What Feeling Gets?" brackets Dorothy's theme. Which happens when they are in like the Emerald City Hotel. But it's not in the film. It's just the music from it. It's not the lyrics. She doesn't sing it. It's just the lyrics are in the background. Words. The music is in the background, but she doesn't sing it. And that's my favourite one of Dorothy's songs.
Oh, that's sad. In fairness, at that point when they were in the hotel, I was like, get on with it. So,
we don't need another song here.
Yeah. You've held the lion in your lap for the 8th time.
She didn't need that song about... We'll get onto that song about the fucking lion, but like... So it's the overture's happening. The overture's in 2 tracks on the soundtrack. And then we're at Thanksgiving,
Yes.
in New York, and I'm like,
Harlem.
this is not Kansas.
Specifically Harlem.
And
Yeah?
there's I don't. I'll get onto it.
Alright, okay.
But in the musical The Wiz, because they put The Wiz on the Wiz Live NBC version on YouTube.
Yeah, that was in
over the
like
weekend.
a Kansas-esque thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so the musical's in Kansas, and I don't know why it's snowing in the film, because
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Does it snow? Oh, maybe it snows in... When's Thanksgiving? October, November? November.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, there's nothing to do with Thanksgiving in the show. I don't know why they've just decided to put it in I mean, we get like Oz looks a lot like New York, but I don't know why it's now in New York.
I mean, I think this is all a massive, okay, so I was doing a lot of research about this.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it's a metaphor for, black political marginalisation.
Yeah.
I think also there's a lot of critique about just capitalism in general, so for me it makes sense that it would be New York.
Okay.
Just in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet Diana Ross wanted it to be in New York, so they put it in New York.
She was like, I don't want to travel.
Well, so we'll get to it in a second. Apparently Dorothy is 24 in this.
Mm-hmm.
24 she says
years
you're 24.
Old, and a teacher looking for a promotion. And I was like, oh, to be a 24-year-old looking for a promotion. Do you think when we turn 24 next month, we'll suddenly be looking for a promotion?
Well, I'll be looking for a job. Side note, if anybody has any jobs going, please
I was like, anyone has any money?
If anyone's got any money, just give me your money.
Yeah. Or we'll start a Patreon.
We could do it well. I think we could. I've been thinking, Diana Ross is 34 in this.
Yeah, I thought she looked a bit not 24.
A lot of the problems from this film's production stemmed that they wanted to cast Stephanie Mills, who was on the Broadway.
Oh, okay.
As Dorothy, because she was 18, whatever.
Oh my god, yeah.
Child age.
God, these children who play big roles, I can't.
Diana Ross, formerly of the Supremes, and one of the most famous singers in the world, was like, I want to be in this, and they were like, Diana, no, you're twice the age that we need.
Oh my god.
And so she went to Universal and was like, put me in it, yeah? And they were like, oh, okay.
What? That's mad. But they didn't go, you can be one of the witches.
No. She was like, I will be Dorothy. And they were like, okay.
Oh my god.
Because what else do you do when Diana Ross comes up to you and says, I want to be Dorothy?
Yeah, that's fair. Did it then become the star-studded picture it is today? Or did it already have Michael Jackson, Richard Pryor,
I don't really
so many
know.
others, but I can't remember.
I don't know.
Who plays the witch? The good witch?
Lena Horne.
Yeah, Lena Horne.
Lena Horne. Yeah.
Oh, she does a lot later on, but anyway.
She does, and I'm here for it. But we're at Thanksgiving, and Aunt Em is singing The Feeling That We Have.
A forgettable song.
The Feeling That We Have. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just very long, and it's very sad sounding, despite it being happy and uplifting. We're all together at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and she hugs someone. I'm like, hasn't she just had a baby? Isn't she having a great time? But they're hugging something has gone terribly wrong. And then they applaud teen sex. That was weird.
And she's trying to set Dorothy up with someone, and we have little flashes of just Dorothy being pathetic.
Yeah, she's looking lovely in lilac, though, I will say. She
is, yes. She's made a cake. She gives a scrap of meat to Toto. She takes someone's coat. She knocks over some checkers. I don't fucking know.
The moment when the Aunt Em is holding her face for just a bit too long. It's clearly supposed to be a really beautiful moment. And then Dorothy's like, why are you holding my face? I need to get out of here and sadly ice a cake. Gotta do my spongy trauma. For a good few minutes while I sing a bad song.
Oh, she just sings this sad. It keeps coming the fuck back. This sad song.
Yes.
Feeling. Swear to God, there's more than it's. Oh, nonsense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just in the kitchen. And then they've cleared up from Thanksgiving, and Aunt Em basically says to Uncle Henry, "Isn't our daughter great?" Now, Dorothy, on the other hand,
is she basically insulting? Wait, hang on. You know, there's a couple that comes with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about that girl,
that's
right?
The
one who's had the baby. So
yeah.
Is the baby Dorothy's sister?
No.
What? Why not?
What? So Aunt Em.
Aunt Em is Dorothy's
sibling.
aunt.
Yes. So Dorothy's cousin has had a baby. Aunt Em's daughter or child, son, whatever.
I thought the woman who came with the baby was Aunt Em's sister, therefore making her Dorothy's mother.
No.
Right. I was thinking they didn't talk as much as I expected. They didn't have a catch-up.
They never really explain why Dorothy's parents aren't around.
Do they in the original?
In anything. Like, they didn't do it in Judy, or Feruza, or Diana.
In Feruza, they mention her, though, because she's paying for treatment.
Well, we
so
assume that. It's just that Em's
torturing her daughter from afar.
Em's like, my sister's going to pay for it, and we decided that was Dorothy's mum.
It would be odd to put that line in there, though, if it wasn't.
Yeah. It's weird. Anyway.
But they made some odd choices, so...
She's like, Dorothy, you're 24. You've been teaching in that nursery, kindergarten, for 3 years. Now teach in the high school. And Dorothy's like, no.
No, I want to stick with the kids. And if we were a worse podcast, I'd make a joke about that. But we're not. But this girl, they keep talking about how she's never been outside further than a few blocks or to work. And I'm like, this girl has anxiety. Get her some Prozac, or failing that, a big straw friend to help her along. Like, I'm glad she has a nice time, because frankly, this girl, bless her heart, she needs some help.
She does. She could have some electroshock therapy if she wanted. Just ask Feruza.
Do we as a pod support electroshock therapy?
No, we don't. Only as a last resort when this child is irritating. And weird.
She is a bit weird. And doing lots of bottom lip acting.
Diana has chosen an interesting path and just done screaming. There's no acting in sight. All she does is scream. Toto!
Oh, do not get me started on this. Toto escaping had me proper cackling. Because she, opens the door real wide, and he, runs towards the door, and she's like, hey, Toto, not concerned. And then it's like, no! Toto! It had real vibes of, that vine that's like, what do you got there? A knife. No! It was very that. Also, can I bring in my first... Sorry, I'm talking a lot. Can I bring in my first queer Dorothy theory?
Yeah.
So... basically, I did a lot of research, and apparently Dorothy in The Wiz is an icon of black queer womanhood, and there's so many people who've theorized that she is actually gay. And when you told me that the writer is a extraordinary gay man,
who wrote the screenplay,
yeah,
he's had sex with 20,000 men.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So
that's more than me. By about 20,000.
Actively queer, apparently loads of people see her as an example of a young black woman who does not want to be kind of I think the word they used was socialized to sort of marry a man and have babies and take the promotion. Do you know what I mean? So I was reading this text that was theorising all this stuff about Dorothy being queer, and I'm going to read you something because I copied it down.
Okay.
So she said, I interpret Dorothy's behaviour as transgressive. I find Dorothy's refusal to conform to heteronormativity refreshing and delighted in her ability to construct alternative visions of black womanhood with queer possibilities. And I was like, Yes!
Because she has been trying to be set up with a man, and she's like, no thanks, I'm going to ice my cake.
Yeah, exactly. Literally that. Like, she's presented with all these, like, options to, like, be sort of, to sort of go into society, be socialised as, like, a very heteronormative young black woman who's gonna, like, get a promotion and get married and have children. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And it's great.
I mean, cool, idolise who you want to idolise, but if in this film Dorothy's your favourite character, you've done something wrong.
I mean, I prefer her to all the other Dorothys we've seen so far.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's got more autonomy and control. Same thing, really, but, you know.
Because she is twice the age of the other two, but okay.
No, I mean, in, like, the writing of it and everything. And she stands up. I guess Feruza, or whatever her fucking name was, had the moment of, you will not! But,
I don't think.
That does not a heroine make, in my opinion. Sorry to be a bad feminist.
Fair enough. We're back to that, are we? And so she's running out into the snowstorm.
Yeah.
And this snow twister comes down the street. What?
Is a snow twister a thing?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
I don't think. No. And it, picks her up. And we see Lena Horne and her space babies.
Yeah.
Why she got the space... Why are there children behind her?
Oh, and in the last song where Lena Horne comes back, because she really did phone it in, like, she came in at the start, came in at the end, like, nothing else in between, they keep not flashing back, what's it called, like, panning to this one baby who is giving fuck all, frankly. and I have to assume that he's, like, the son of the director or something, who's like, keep panning to Jeff, I don't know.
Well, Lena Horne is, at the time, she's dead now, was the mother-in-law of the director. And that's not why she got the part. She is like a Hollywood legend.
Yeah.
But still, interesting. Maybe she didn't want maybe she owed him a favour. She wasn't like Diana, like, give me the part.
Maybe the baby was originally cast as Linda the Good Witch.
And is fuming. The baby is livid.
That's why he's giving fuck all. He cannot be asked with this shit.
And Lena Horne's holding out her hand, and she's got the twister in the palm of her hand. And I'm like, did she orchestrate this?
I believe so.
This bitch?
Yeah, I mean, on the wiki, I think it said that it's all orchestrated by her.
Camp. Well, in Wicked, it's Madame Morrible, isn't it? Because she can do weather stuff.
What does she do? Does she... What?
She starts the twister.
What?
In Wicked, yeah.
But not in order to get a small girl from Kansas to come and kill. Like that.
I think
she doesn't know that's going to happen.
Just to kill someone, just to kill her, I think. And she's like flying around, and she's like, well, might as well throw a twister in here to try and fuck her up.
Madame Morrible is the most lackadaisical serial killer I've ever heard of.
But she's got lovely sleeves. Anyway.
And big hair, big bouffant.
Dorothy crashes through an OZ.
Yeah.
What does that spell?
Oh.
See.
Yeah. She crashes through a neon sign, lands in a sand pit, which I would like to propose is a real queer combination of events.
It's a very specific sand pit as well. Like, it is, like, just the right size for her. I'm like, thank God you landed there, babe.
Yeah. They really saw Return to Oz's Deadly Desert and went, I will raise you a sand pit.
And then Toto escapes again. And she's like, Toto!
Oh my God, Toto.
And then these scary graffiti children prise themselves off the wall and are like,
It's just so like Keith Haring Nightmare. I loved it.
And they are the Munchkins.
Yes.
In this like playground thing. There's a slide. I don't know.
Yeah. Is it supposed to be? Is there a famous playground in? Are all the places we go to like a mirror of the real world? You've been to New York recently, right?
I went, just over a year ago.
And you didn't visit
back
the
when
famous
I still
playground?
Could. I think I have. Like, I saw a few playgrounds. But yeah,
there is in Harlem. Is it like us? Has she gone to like the other world? Like, is it?
I don't know. There's probably a playground in Harlem.
Yeah, if you know New York, let us know. Because
they definitely go to the New York Public Library, which I have been to.
Oh, okay. Oh, the library is. I see. Cool.
And there's like 5 Empire State Buildings or whatever on the skyline.
And the Brooklyn Bridge.
And Coney Island. They go to Coney Island, don't they?
What's Coney Island?
Coney Island is like the theme parky one.
Oh, I see.
And it has a boardwalk.
Okay.
Yeah. And that also happens in it, yeah. I went there. Anyway, the Munchkins like, we were cursed by... Is it Evermean? The Wicked Witch of the East?
Oh, I don't know.
So maybe? Eveline is the West, and Evermean.
Evermean! Oh, I love that.
And she cursed them to be graffiti.
Yes.
And
Dorothy
the Alzheimer's landed on her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, cut to one Munchkin pointing and grinning at a dead body like, ah ha 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 ha. It was so weird.
She's like, I didn't kill anyone. And they're like, you just fucking did. Congrats. Like, and they're literally like, you've just graduated into like the big leagues of killing bitches. And I'm like, yes.
I had a question at this point. Is it dubbed? It seemed really badly dubbed. Like, not just the singing, like every conversation in this bit.
It was a bit like they had voices that didn't match what they looked like Passenger and George Ezra.
Wait, what?
So, you know, like, Passenger is like burly, beardy man. And sings like this.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And then George Ezra's like a twink and is like, hello, it's me, George Ezra. And I'm like, you should swap voices.
Oh, I thought it was just like a bit out of sync, but I don't know.
I don't know either, but if we questioned every single filmmaking practice employed in this movie, we'd be here all day.
And then we meet, arguably, the star of the show.
Why is she not in it more?
I had so much time for Miss... What's her name? Thelma Carpenter.
Playing the part of Miss One.
Yes.
Who, for some reason, is mathematical. I mean, again, in the musical, she's called Anna Pearl and she's just a witch.
That makes so much more sense. At one point, like, Dorothy asks her for help, and she's like, I'm witch one, but my powers don't amount to much. I'm like, then technically, you're not a witch, are you? Like, my powers don't amount to much, but I can still be a witch because I'm a bisexual on Instagram. Hey! And all of them are fucking witches.
She comes down in this camp lift, and she's like, look at this. You killed the witch, have her shoes, and then we get the classic rolly backy footy thing.
Yeah.
Horrid. Why were they like, this is the bit that we want to keep from the original?
Sorry.
I just remember her as well, there's a bit where she's like, where's New York? And she's like, what do you mean New York? And Dorothy's like, I live at 433 Prospect Place. And then she writes it down on a blackboard and goes, ooh, 433. And I'm like, yes, the school of the White Witch saying numbers weird.
She's very much the Ruth Pointer from Oliver and Company. Except she's like a person, not a red setter. No. What's Ruth Pointer?
I haven't seen it. You know this.
I'm sorry. Honestly, like, listeners, hit me up if you fancied Rita the dog, because oh boy.
And then she's got a camp wig, hasn't she? She's got a whole camp costume. Yes. And she's like,
why
blues and
was
purples.
This not a costume for the Met Gala? It's so camp.
I don't know. And she sings He's the Whiz, which is probably one of my favourite songs in this whole film.
I downloaded it last night. I was like, yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sweet thing, let me tell you about... And Amber Riley's version for the live NBC one, also sensational.
Amber Riley, yes.
But that one doesn't feature kazoos like it fucking does in this one. They
And
just whip out a
bizarre
kazoo. Oh, so good.
At one point, I
They're,
think
going
the
down
direction...
slides.
Yeah, the direction at one point I think was, now put your arms in the air and trot. Like, it was so weird.
Oh, it's so good.
She also says the line in that song. She's talking about the Wiz, and she's like, she's like, without his help, it would be impossible to leave. And I'm like, oh, we've heard that before. And then you come back and you're like, oh, just whack your trotters together. Be peachy.
And then at the end of the song, she's like, go and see the Wiz, follow the yellow brick road, and then all the Munchkins at the back at the same time go, yes, follow the yellow brick road. I'm like, thank God they all said it together rather than one after the other like they did in that first one. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that got grating after a time.
Also, while they're all in their crowd, there's one munchkin, lone munchkin, swinging on a swing at the back, and my fucking arsehole brain was like, is that referencing another swinging munchkin, eh? And I was like, I was like, don't say that on the podcast, Caitlin. But again, my arsehole brain just now.
I love it. And so she gets to follow the yellow brick road, or she tries to find the yellow brick road first. Because unhelpfully, the yellow brick road doesn't go from Munchkin Land. But,
yeah.
She tries to get in a taxi, and it's like, nah, bye.
Oh yeah, and also when what's her name? Miss Wan is kind of yelling after her some advice. I think she says, watch out for the poisoned poppies. But what I heard was the boys and the cabbies. And so when Dorothy starts wandering towards a taxi, I was like, no, Dorothy! You were given one instruction. It's wise. Watch out for boys and cabbies.
Oh my god. And then she sings another fucking sad song.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember. It's just the same one about feeling.
I think
Why do I not have any feelings?
I think I skipped through it. Sorry.
Fair enough. I mean, I didn't, but I looked away, and then I was snapped out of my reverie by a horrid giggling when my nemesis, the creepy man, runs out of a little underground cabin. It's like, ha 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 ha, and then, like, jaunts away, and
Yeah.
I bet on first viewing you'd be like, okay, that's just a little jump scare, we'll never see him again. Think the fuck again. Ugh.
I thought, because when you first see him, he's sort of like shadowed, so I was like, oh, it's Richard Pryor. It's, you know, and they play two different characters, you know? But it wasn't Richard Pryor, it was just a random man. Like, as in
Creepy,
an
creepy
actor
man.
playing a random man. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for it. I was a little bit confused, because I was like, oh, he's following them because, you know, that would make some sort of sense, right?
Yeah,
But no.
no, it's just wants
But
to
think again,
shit me
Caitlin.
up. And then Dorothy creeps around a building and sees newly minted paedophile Michael Jackson. And I'm like, Michael Jackson, at this point, not a bad-looking young man.
No, they did him a bit dirty with the prosthetics. But
Why have you made him look like this?
yeah.
With his little, like, penisy shoulders. He's got a furry penis on each shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bag round his face.
Yeah.
Like a paper bag. I'm like, this is not the one.
They've added multiple chins to him, which, you know.
Oh yeah, they flatten out his, like,
Yeah,
chin
actually,
to
so
neck.
it's not multiple chins. They've just kind of flattened it, haven't they?
Just
I was
like,
going to say, like,
made so he doesn't have a neck.
yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Horrid.
Not to I mean, who amongst us doesn't have a million double chins? But it looked weird. Didn't look like a face.
Yeah. My issue, I think, when you have someone nice looking, why would you make them do this? Like,
also, explain the nose. The nose looked like, you know, when you make cupcakes, the little cupcake holder thing. Little cases.
Oh, it did, yeah. I don't know why you've asked me to explain it. I have no fucking clue.
But it's just like on his nose and really flat, and I was like, did he eat a muffin and get bored? Like, was the makeup artist like, oh, I found this in my bag, Putting it on your hooter.
It's not. I don't want the Scarecrow to be like, I'd fuck him, but at the same time, I don't want the Scarecrow to be like, I wouldn't fuck him.
I mean, so far the most successful design for the Scarecrow is the first one, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And I'm not going to fuck the Scarecrow next week. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Who plays it? Oh, okay. Spoilers. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Oh my god, you're going to hate it. That's all I know, is that you're going to absolutely fucking hate it. And then Michael Jackson is on a pole like a scarecrow.
Yeah.
And then there's crow people.
Yeah, I thought this was great. Like, this was definitely a really good... I don't understand, like... Did I say this earlier? Like, so when I was looking up, like, what it's a metaphor for, etc., etc., there was this thing that was like, scholars have decided that this is an unsuccessful metaphor. I don't really get that, because I thought these crows were, like, so good and pointed about, like, keeping people, like, uneducated, in quotation marks, so you can, like, keep them down. I thought that was really good, but apparently it's not, according to scholars. What the fuck do they know? The scholars of Queers Gone By have decided it's excellent.
Yeah, and they're like, don't read anything, don't get down off that pole, just sing your nice song, Michael. And he does sing the nice song.
It's a good song, yeah. And then Dorothy appears.
You can't win.
Oh yes, You Can't Win. It's called You Can't Win. And it's basically all about
the
him.
choreography.
Like, the choreography!
It's bad. The pun is better than what it is. I'm very proud of that pun, and I would not be proud of the choreography itself.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
just
fair.
It's, you know, when you, like, just before, like, a student show, and you do your 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8, 7, 6, 5, you're shaking your hands, and it's basically that.
A bit, yeah, with a lot of head bobbing, like you're a crow.
They were certainly warming up with this choreography.
Warming up for some excellence later.
Because you don't want to, like, show all your cards, do you, at the start?
No, exactly.
No, it's fine, yeah.
And then Dorothy spooks them.
Yeah, with her screaming.
Ah! Ah!
So much screaming.
And just random waving in their general direction.
She does.
Why is Diana made of rubber? She's just so bendy.
She's one of those, like inflatable men outside the carriage.
She does look like that sometimes. She's like wobbling about.
And then she helps him down. He was never tied to the pole, apparently. It was just the only thing keeping him from getting down was those crows.
Yeah, because he's like they call him an experiment. It's really weird. And then he's like, this experiment, blah blah, it's failed. Subject is a hopeless failure, talking about himself. And she's like, no, you're just a product of negative thinking. And it's like, yes, Dorothy.
I also read about Joel Schumacher, renowned homosexual, and Diana Ross. They were both like this big fans of. It wasn't like Scientology, but it was some kind of like
cult,
spirituality, like way of thinking.
Okay.
I think it's called like EST or something.
Okay.
And like it's loads of like affirmations, being like, "You're in charge of your own destiny," and
oh, okay. So
they put a lot of those in the script as well. Yes. Does Joel Schumacher have Instagram? He might have like a fancy quote on a photo background.
YouTubers this isolation have told me that I just need to like project and practice mindfulness. It's very upsetting.
I hate it. And then Michael Jackson's like, I want a brain, I ain't got one. And Dorothy's like, everyone's got a brain. And Michael goes, not me. Takes off his hat, shows the inside of his head to Dorothy. And Dorothy just goes, garbage.
That's
me whenever I look in the mirror.
That's a reaction meme. Also, thanks, Diana. He's confiding in you, but sure, go off.
Oh, Michael, also we should probably say that he's stuffed with like quotes from famous writers and philosophers and stuff. Yeah. And occasionally he'll pull one out and say, that kind of forms a little character arc that kind of gets resolved at the end.
I don't remember, but sure, I'll believe it.
It's a little bit. And then she's like, she's like, well, I've got to find the yellow brick road, so let's do that.
And then we get Michael and Diana just manic laughing for about 5 minutes. Ease on down. Ease on down. Down the road.
What? Come on, Dorothy. Don't you carry nothing? That might be alone. Boom, boom. Oh, and then they ease. They do some bluzzy. I'm like, yes, bitch, ease. Keep easing. Yeah.
But also, it's a massive fuck-off road. How did you miss it? They're like, where could it be? And they look up and it's there.
Surely not leading to these 5 Empire State Buildings.
Yeah. It's amazing. Also, how many ankles did Michael twist doing this? Like, his physicality keeps, like, rolling on his heel and falling over because he's learning to walk because he's a scarecrow. Also, Diana is doing it in heels on cobblestones.
Tea.
Mm-hmm. Very upset. I was so nervous. Having a great time. I was bopping along like, ah!
For health and safety.
That's the mood of this film. You're bopping along like, ah!
I think that's what I mean about the, like,
I get
theme park rides. Well, speaking of theme park rides, we're now in a theme park.
What a transition, Kate.
Thank you. I'm on a segue.
Room.
The creepy man is poking his... Oh, quick, think of the word. Telescope. Okay.
I have never seen you look more panicked there.
Well, I was like, the creepy man is poking his blank. And I'm like, I just need to finish the sentence before anybody else makes up their mind of what I was going to say. He's poking his telescope through and giggling. There's so much giggling in this film.
I don't remember his giggle. Can you recreate it for me? Wow. Isn't that
or something adjacent. Probably. He's not a wealthy man.
No.
And he doesn't live in great conditions. And he's got some nasty friends, but we'll get to the nasty friends later.
They dedicate a scene to the nasty friends. It's okay, we'll get there.
So Nipsey Russell is there.
Who is he? Because I've heard his name.
So the main thing I know him from is this.
Yeah.
But then he was also impersonated a lot on SNL when they did, like, here's a game show from the 80s.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I think he's like a comedian, like, did a lot of like that, like, kind of in the same kind of vein as Paul Lind, maybe?
Oh, okay. Right.
They did a lot of, like, comedy stuff and then did a lot of, like, game shows.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the style, as in quite campy and stuff. That didn't seem his vibe.
No. Just, like, someone who was always on TV.
Right, yeah.
If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's the Tin Man.
Like a Graham Norton.
Sure.
I love Graham Norton. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry.
Nipsey Russell's trapped under a big lady.
Yeah, there's a bit of fat shame in here.
There is, but also, she's inanimate.
Also,
and
she's
his wife,
and he keeps like sobbing over her. We'll get to it. It's weird. He's like, she's so fat. Also, boo-hoo. I don't know. It was really weird.
Yeah, he's like, the tinsmith took care of my dashing good looks, my razor-sharp wit, and my irresistible attraction to the wrong women. What he forgot to give me was a heart. Big sad.
And then Dorothy opens his chest and calls hello into the cavern that is his body, which seems insensitive.
Nobody home in Soulville. And I'm like, same. And And then he's like, I've been trapped, ironically, in a position I know all too well, under the arse of my fourth wife, Teeny, who's the big lady.
And I was like... And I know that was meant sort of metaphorically, but also I felt like it was meant in wink wink, oi oi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was fucking that statue.
His fourth wife, thank you. Teeny.
Sorry. We'll get to it. Because now he sings the song, What Would I Do If I Could Feel? Which is fine.
I've written, I wasn't keen on this song. Oil Song is better.
With this song, what put me off a lot was the singing wooden ladies who came alive.
I think I skipped through that bit.
Did you not see the singing wooden... What would I do? And they're like in like a... Is it like a... Not a cameo. What's the...
Oh! I think I know.
Like a facade.
Yeah.
And they're like wooden, and then they come alive. And it's scary. But they sing some lovely harmonies. I'll give them that.
But then they get to the oil song, which was good.
I thought, why does Nipsey Russell get 2 songs when celebrated singer and dancer Michael Jackson has 1, which he spends static?
Yeah, they did kind of palm off Michael Jackson and didn't even do the whole, like, you're my favourite at the end.
I was ready for that, and I was like, you better fucking not, Diana. Maybe she knew what he was about to do. I like Nipsey best. And again, he does, well, because he's like talking about Teeny, and he goes, a teeny, and then he's crying a lot.
Like weeping, yeah.
Like projectile tears. Which reminded me of when I was the dame in my year 2 pantomime. And I had to cry about my sad life. And I had a little water pistol in my hanky and sprayed it at the audience. But the first time I performed it, they hadn't really... they were like, here's a hanky and a water pistol. And I was like, okay, so I'm using this as fake tears. So I sprayed it into my own eyes.
Oh my god!
Because I was there for the realism rather than the like...
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go,
the 4D.
No, I'm going to feel...
Anyway, Nipsey's like, slide some oil to me, slide some oil down my throat, and let me lubricate my mind. Okay.
I They do a little breakfast club routine. They get on the table and do...
Do. Little tap
dance.
routine, lovely time.
Yeah.
And then they do some more easing.
Yeah.
And the creepy man is there again.
Sets. Like in the background, they keep walking by, and they're quite. If you look too hard, they're quite obviously fake, but they're just really beautiful. I really enjoy them.
The creepy man is skipping around, and I was watching this with my dog, and it was at this point my dog started like making sad noises, and I was like, same, very much same.
You know when a dog does a whine?
Yeah.
Do you ever? Is it because like they're hungry or they're scared, or could it be literally anything?
My dog whines all the time. If you're not like stroking him constantly.
I hate that.
He's
mainly
so
because I relate.
Bless his heart, yeah, but he didn't enjoy this film, specifically the creepy man, and I relate to that.
Yeah.
And then they're outside the New York Public Library or whatever. And I
mean, you've seen it before, but this
bit always takes me by surprise.
I was like, so they're walking past the library, and there are some stone lions outside the library, and you see the eyes of the lion following them, and then they clock that he's doing that. And I was like, it's very clearly a stone lion. How are they going to do the lion? They stripper caked the lion. He was in there, and then he burst out.
And it's Ted Ross having a lovely time.
Who played the lion in the Broadway show?
Yes.
Yes.
And he sings Mean Old Lion, which is a banger.
I downloaded this too. Love it.
It's the violins and like the trumpets working overtime.
he has a little mirror. He looks like to be like, oh, I'm such a vain lion, and it has like a jaw, like teeth on it. I love that.
And then I was like,
mirror.
Why hasn't he turned round and used the teeth as a teeth? Why is there not a shot of that?
That's very upsetting.
But it's okay. Jinx Monsoon hadn't done that thing with a magnifying glass yet, so they didn't have anything to go off. He's also got a popped lion collar, which is like really
a
fab.
Tudor queen, a little rump. I loved it. I love this lion. Oh,
he's a mean old lion. Burr, 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 burr.
It was very like Tom Jonesy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
His paws have heels.
I didn't notice that.
They do. They look like actual paws, but they're clearly shoes because But instead of just making them flat shoes, like a person would wear with a lion costume, they've given him heels.
Camp.
It's very camp.
Love it. And then he's like, "You're all pricks." He tries to roast him, and then Toto's like, "I'm having none of this," and bites him.
Yeah. He bit my paw! Ah! He does a very loud ah.
A lion without any courage. Oh.
IOBK, incapable of being king. I was like, oh, babes, you don't need an acronym for that.
I like that Michael is like, what does IOBK stand for? When he goes, incapable of being king, Michael goes, oh, and walks off.
I felt that, in fairness.
This fucking self-absorbed, like self-pitying bellend. Bye-bye. And then they're like, come see the Wiz, and they do some more easing.
Yeah.
I love that they've got the traffic crossing signals, and it says like ease, don't ease, instead of walk, don't walk. I love that. And then I was screaming at my laptop, like, do not go into the subway, please.
Yeah.
Please don't. Why must you do this?
You told me about this, and so I was ready for Nightmare Charing Cross, however you call it. Oh.
It's identical to Charing Cross, and it has the same sense of ominous dread that Charing Cross Station does. I watched this last night, this clip, and just to prepare, I was like, okay, I know this scary bit's coming, but I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
And the creepy man comes with his little tray of souvenirs, and there's in the background there's I'm like, no. I just did it now. Thinking about it, my heart rate's going. It's horrible. I hate it so much.
Really?
And then he's got these little dangly men.
Little puppets.
Concertinery, papery men. Yeah. And then they're dancing, and then they're like, how is he doing that? It's like, it's just a motor. He's having a great. I'm like, it's elastic, but okay. And then they grow. Well, as they started to grow, my watching it illegally online stream cut out, and I was like, the internet doesn't want me to watch this. It's trying to save me from this nightmare fuel.
Yeah, a bit.
Which is scarier, do you think, this or the Wheelers?
Right, okay. I have a theory. Personally, I think the Wheelers themselves, just on their own, are scarier. But the atmosphere of this is, as a whole, scarier. Does that make sense?
Yes,
so the puppets are kind of creepy, little wiggly boys, but I think just as a design, the Wheelers are horrifying.
That's fair. If the Wheelers had the in the background, that would be horrible. That would be worse.
Yeah,
that would be a combo.
That ruin. Imagine you're walking around a ruin having a lovely time, as you do. And then you hear... That'd be horrible.
Hate it.
But in a way, it's worse in a tube station, because the amount of times, especially us as performers, that you're in a train station late at night on your own.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Hate it. And then the lion just fucks off and runs away.
This
and
one
then they
made
get
sense.
shut in.
It was definitely a reference to the run in the original, when he runs down going, and jumps through a window.
I forgot about that. I love it. And then chaos just ensues. There are some nasty bins.
This must
There's some
so
evil
much
cables.
Fun to film.
They're just running around a tube station like, oh no, this bin's got teeth. Yes.
Yeah.
And then these pillars like dislodge themselves from the wall. They're like, ugh.
You're fucked when the architecture starts attacking you, aren't you?
Oh my god.
And Diana is doing a lot of screaming and very little running. She's just standing in the middle of these very slow moving pillars, like, oh no!
I can't remember how they overcome it. They just run.
Oh, Lion. No, hang on. This is important for Lion's narrative.
Oh, sorry. I was just
so,
like watching it through my fingers, like.
So initially, he runs away, a door slams behind the others, and he has to run back into the danger to rescue them. And then when they're all running around all over the place, he saves each of them by attacking, like, the bins. Like, he tears the bins apart because he's a big lion. Yeah.
Okay.
It's important for Lion to do so.
That's good. And then we get out of the tube station, and we meet the sex worker poppies.
Sexy
and
flowers.
I'm like, what an interpretation of having these poppies as sex workers.
Yeah.
Genius.
Is this a metaphor for the opioid crisis? Not to be too serious, but, you know.
Could well be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about, like, temptation and things, I don't know. And like, the poppies go, hey! And that's my favourite thing.
That's great. And they're getting tempted up by the poppies to go into I don't know, like... Oh, they're sex workers, so yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And who's been... So, Dorothy and Tin Man? Oh, no, Lion. Dorothy and the Lion have been, like, taken in by their womanly flower ways. And the others are like, no, it's a setup, don't go in there. But Dorothy and Lion go in there. Yeah. And then they slide down a slide? I didn't really get this bit.
It's like a weird little tongue, and they look like they're all fucked out.
Yeah.
Because we don't see what happens inside the poppy bit. They just go through, like, a machine.
We miss what happens inside. I see. I thought it literally just goes, whoop, and they're outside.
I don't know if there's, like, time elapsing, or they just literally just go through a little tunnel. And they're all exhausted. I think they go inside, and they get all fucked up. And they have a lot of shenanigans. Toto as well, because they do mention that Toto is also exhausted.
They don't just mention it. Tin Man is fucking... He's over-egging the pudding. He's like picks up this very clearly a stuffed toy dog, and is like, oh, poor Toto, sweet little Toto, this real dog, Toto!
And then he carries on, because, like, to wake them up, he has to cry on them. So we get another bloody reprise of a teeny, and just like this bloody water pistol in.
I may be wrong, but isn't it like, so the lion, he notices, oh fuck, the lion is fucked up, and he starts crying because he's worried the lion's dead. And then when he gets to Dorothy, he's like, I can't do it again, I've got to think about my wife. Don't give a fuck about this bitch. Oh. Just crack one out for Dorothy.
Crack one out for Dorothy.
That is this Pride slogan.
If you were really a friend of Dorothy, you'd do it. You'd crack one out.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mean crack one out, do I?
No, you don't.
It still stands.
Spaff for Diana.
Oh, Christ.
And then the lion wakes up and has a bloody shame monologue about how useless he is because the sexy ladies entranced him. And I'm like, don't beat yourself. I'm attracted to these sexy ladies, and that's not my bag at all.
Yeah. We're all...
And then he literally tries to throw himself off the building.
Yeah. I'm like, we're all attracted to the sexy ladies. Stop making this about you.
Dorothy had sex with the sexy ladies, queer.
Of course she did. Love Dorothy.
The theory stands. And then they fucking sing this. Dorothy sings this song, Be a Liar.
Another fucking sad song. Just some belting though at the end.
It doesn't excuse it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't excuse it. Having a sad song, just belted it. No, I will not accept. It's like, a lion a lion. This is just dumb. Just be like, don't kill yourself over some sexy ladies.
Yeah. I was getting some strong Tim Curry vibes from the lion at this point.
That's fair.
I would love Tim Curry, younger Tim Curry, to play sorry, fuck my words. I would love younger Tim Curry to play the lion.
Me too.
Right now, he's a bit in a wheelchair, post-stroke. I hope he's okay.
I haven't heard much from him.
No. He's
not that I get, like, a text from him every day.
Your notifications. Turn your notifications on. Tim Curry...
Oh, I've got an airplane mode this whole time. I've got so many messages from Tim.
He goes to, what they call, like, conventions and, like, gives really sassy talks about how he's really pissed off at everyone. It's great.
Love that for him.
He's great.
Love that for Tim. And then they get to the Emerald City.
The sun is an apple.
What?
The sun is at the Emerald City. When the sun rises, it's an apple. It's the big apple. Do you not notice
I didn't even notice. Well, I was too busy, like, psyching myself up for the amount of looks that we are going to see.
I didn't realise that was coming, so I was just like, not even ready.
I mean, there's like a little, like, cock tease just before where they're like, you can't come in here, and she's like, I've got silver slippers all right,
immediately, yeah,
you can come in.
Yes.
This
set, this outfit,
the looks that I think, why is it set in Harlem? Because you've got the ballroom influences.
Apparently,
going on in the
there
choreography.
are still to this day, like whiz themed balls. Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
I know.
I love that.
Yeah.
And there's music going on, and then they're all green. They're in like green sequins and like different green looks going on.
And they do so many like zoom-ins on just random women wearing incredible clothes, and I'm like, are they a celebrity? No, they're just gorgeous. They're just like amazing.
100 people in this scene, and they all have an amazing green look. Then the wizard says, I'm changing my mind.
Yeah.
Don't love green anymore. It's red. Then 100 people have an amazing red look. And then the wizard's like, let's go with gold. And then 100 people have an amazing gold look.
It's incredible.
It's like a 10-minute sequence, and I'm here for it all, every second.
Although we are forgetting the most important outfit of all, which is the
one?
man dressed as a camera.
Yes, the cameraman! It's like a little camera with legs, like running up and taking pictures, and then like Dorothy and everyone's like, take a picture of us, and he's like, no.
Nah. I feel like that happened last time I was in a club. You know, when you're like, take a picture of me and my friends, and the cameraman's like, ugh, okay. Haven't been to a club since.
Oh god. And then the wizard's like, Ayo, send up that gal with the silver slippers, please. She's like, hiya, and goes to the thing.
Do a little ease on down.
Oh, they do. They run a little, they're like, no riffraff, just you, Diana. And she's like, I want to speak to the wizard. And then they go, hey, Mike! And then a little Mike with legs trots over.
It's so good! And I don't think we're properly explaining how adorable the little clumpy legs are. It's so cute. Also, I'm sniffing so much. I'm really sorry to listeners. I've got bad hay fever and nothing's working.
I mean, it's okay. There's
I did listen to one episode and was like, I can't get through it. I hate myself. But, you know, as per usual.
Well, now you've drawn attention to it, everyone's going to hear it.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry.
And then Dorothy's like, Mr. Wizard, if my friends can't come up, then fuck you. Bye-bye. I'm gone.
This is what I mean. This is the best Dorothy.
And he's like, oh, go on then, all right.
Yeah.
And then they get in the lift.
And Richard Pryor is a massive head. I'm so happy.
So, you wanted to see the wizard. And it's a big metal scary head and there's flames on the side of the head.
On the side of my face.
Originally on the Broadway,
Uh-huh.
this was played by queer icon Andre de Shields.
Oh, why do I know who that is?
Who won a Tony last year for being in Hadestown.
Yeah.
He's also in John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch
Lunch.
Bunch.
Yes, that's how I know him. Amazing.
Algebra song. But yeah, Andre de Shields. Also, he's like 90, and he was on Broadway last month. Well, not last month, but until it closed.
Love that. Mm-hmm.
Love it for him. But Richard Pryor, he's a good time.
Oh, yes. Speaking of John Mulaney, you know, for people graduating in 2020, loads of celebrities are doing little speeches.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a graduate, well, even if you're not, but if you want a little graduation speech from John Mulaney, look it up on YouTube. It is excellent, and he's such a bitch, and I love him.
I'll watch it, even though I have nothing to graduate from.
Graduating from this whole situation.
Well, we're getting a promotion next month, so...
Oh, yes, okay, yeah.
Hopefully. And then she's like, can we have all of these things, please? Like, brain, heart, courage, home. And he's like, what's in it for me? And she's like, we'd be very grateful. And he goes, yuck, 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 yuck.
So good.
And then he's like, well, what you got to do instead, because I don't just want your gratitude, I'm gonna explicitly spell it out for you, not like Professor Marvel in 1939.
Fucking wuss.
Kill the bitch.
Kill the bitch. No messing around. He wants a woman's head. Oh, Dorothy in this scene was giving me very can I speak to the manager vibes.
She was. I love that for her.
Yeah, not in a Karen way, just in a very sort of like accomplished young woman way. I love it.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not taking any shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, if I must, I'll go and kill her. Bye-bye. And then we have a little shot.
Some of the shit I will be taking.
And then we have a little shot of the eye socket of the head. And little Richard Pryor pokes his head out and it's like, oh, hell. When they leave. And then he ducks back in. And it's kind of cute. It makes me feel a bit sorry for him. But he's also a prick. The character, not necessarily Richard Pryor.
Oh, I was going to kick
I don't really know anything about Richard Pryor except who he's having sex with.
Well, yeah, is this the time where we discuss that Richard Pryor is a bicon?
Yeah, he is.
Such a bicon. Who did he fuck, Kate?
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando.
Another bicon.
Oh, bicons all over the shop.
I love Marlon Brando. I don't know enough about Richard Pryor.
Because he was definitely... Well, he was definitely openly bi, and loads of his friends, including Quincy Jones, who is involved in this in some way.
Who did the music for this? Or arranged the music and produced it?
Yes, they were really close friends. Like Quincy Jones has been like, oh yeah, he said like multiple times he was bi, and he was completely comfortable with his sexuality, which I feel like for a young black man of that era, you know, I feel like he would have had a lot of pressure to be like straight, kind of, he's not really macho, but you know, that kind of comedian.
Yeah.
You know? Very straight comedian. But yeah, he was completely comfortable with sexuality. But then his fucking daughter came out and was like, well, I didn't know about this, so it's not true. So we don't like Rain Pryor. Not a fan of her.
I got confused. I thought you meant Rashida Jones from Parks and Rec.
Oh, right, you mean...
Who's Quincy Jones's? Yeah.
No.
What has she got to do with it? Like...
Wind your neck in, Rashida.
And then they're in the hotel,
that's my
thinking like...
Richard Pryor side note.
Good for him. Good for Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen any of his... It was a stand-up, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's like the stand-up. Like, he's excellent. Like, I feel like someone watching him now might be like, this seems... I don't think it's outdated. I mean, he's obviously... There are some opinions in it that might not be, you know.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. But I think his style is still... You know, you watch an old comedian and you're like, alright, I've heard this a million times. He still feels really like... Really fucking good. He's like the OG.
Okay.
I love him. He's great.
I'll watch some of it.
Yeah.
I will. And then they're in the hotel.
Yeah.
being like,
Crucially, no
should we
song.
kill him? Crucially, no. This is it's a really good song, and like she like belts at the end, and she's like, "There's nothing here but the fear." It's great. That wasn't belting, but I'm in a small room, so I don't want to.
That was something. Scream, whisper.
Listen to "Is This What Feeling Gets?" Because it is like.
Is it
really
on
good.
every version? Like, is it on Spotify or the?
I think it's on all the soundtracks.
Okay, cool. I'll give it a listen.
I think so. I mean, again, she starts the song being like, "Feeling, feeling."
We get it. You're
This is
feeling.
like the closure of the feeling cycle, and I'm like, thank God, she finally addresses
terrible therapists.
feeling. You're still feeling, are you? Get yourself some electroshock therapy. You'll stop all feeling then.
Oh my God.
And then she's like, let's go and kill her. Might as well. Fucking hell. Got nothing else to do, have we?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, which way do we go? And which door do we, which road do we take? And he's like, this is the road, the guard. And he just opens up like a manhole into like a really smoky sewer. It's like, off you go.
Yeah. And then Roddy from Flushed Away appears.
Ronnie! And then we're at Evelyn's sweatshop, where they export sweat. That's what they're shopping. They're shopping. I'm here for that pun. I've got 100% time for that pun.
Yeah.
And the crows and the sexy poppies
Yeah.
and the giggly man are all like tied up, going to join.
I will say, and they have to, when they like, so there's like a system where they have to like punch in or something, but it punches through their actual hand or something. Or
I didn't see that.
Well, I don't know.
Love that.
Maybe it's because they're. At first, I thought they were working there, but clearly they're not. They're like captured or something. But the old man like puts his hand in something and it slams down like a punch-in system. Maybe it's just like doing a sticker or something, but it looked very sinister.
And then we meet Evelyn, who is camp.
I had so much time for
sparkly.
Evelyn. Oh my God. She is the definition of a girl boss. Like, yes, exploit the workers.
And she was in the Broadway version, wasn't she?
Oh, was she? Love that.
I think. And then she sings "Don't Nobody Bring Me No Bad News," which is a proper
Also
knees up.
downloaded. Yes.
And the sweatshop people have got like wafty fabric, and they're obviously like in slavery, but it's still camp because they've got the wafty fabric.
Yeah. She is a busy capitalist lesbian, so a Scottish Tory, as we know.
And she's got like 6 crowns jammed on her head and like covered in like glitter and rhinestones.
She looks so good. I didn't get a chance to I should have paused it and really had a look, but her like face and crown and all that is so complex. Like, aren't there bits that are like actually attached to her proper, like to her head and like there's holes?
I think so.
It's. I have never been more. I don't know it's possible, but I have never been more furious at Silky Nutmeg Ganache.
When she did that awful interpretation of it, I was like, okay, so you're wearing a pink dress with some glitter on it, okay.
Because I was like, oh, what's wrong with this? Like, I don't like it that much, but it's not that bad. Then I see this version, and I'm like, how dare you take the name of Evelyn in vain? Like, she looks stunning. Well, no, she looks very grotesque and incredible, but like, stunning.
It's a good reference to make. It's just Silky Nutmeg Ganache executed it poorly.
Yeah. Oh, another thing from my lesbian research, as in like this film. Someone was writing about how a lot of like young black women saw. I mean, obviously, Evelyn is not like icon. Want to be like Evelyn when I grow up, but she's like a woman who is kind of grotesque and very in charge in a very aggressive way, and kind of ugly in a like. There's no expectations with Evelyn to be beautiful. She's kind of like an Ursula, that kind of icon. You know? So they were writing about her as really important, and I was like, yes. It's great.
She runs her own business.
Exactly.
It's a bad business, but...
Yeah. It's illegal. This is what I also didn't get. Instead of, like, you're the whiz. You are in charge of this whole country. Like... If you want to kill her, maybe consider, like, a big government which regulates industry. This is basic stuff. Don't send a child to murder her.
Legislate, bitch.
Yeah.
And then she sung a song, and it's added nothing to the plot, but I've had a lovely time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, get the flying monkeys to get this girl. And the flying monkeys come in on their motorbikes. They're a little bit weird. I don't like them.
Are they like a mixture of the monkeys and the wheelers? Is that what they were going for? Or just like, oh, we'll make them bikers?
Could well be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a reference that we may see this time next week.
Oh.
Who can say? Dropping hints. And then they go and chase everyone, Dorothy and everyone, and they're in like a stadium or a car park.
Weird. Like, what was this? Like, I enjoyed it.
There's so many ramps.
Also, they're on motorbikes and they're going so slowly. Like, I don't want to undermine anyone, but at one point I was like, you're on a motorbike chasing a puppy. You should have caught it by now.
Also, at no point does anyone go on the steps to avoid them. And I'm like, that's fair enough, actually, because Return to Oz hadn't come out just yet, so they didn't know that they could just stand on the steps and they'd be fine.
Tin Man gets on an escalator.
Oh, yeah, he fucks about on it.
Yeah, I was like, good
Poor
idea.
Nipsey.
Much like Silky, good idea executed poorly.
Mm. And then they just get in the trash.
Yeah. And
they get in a big wheelie bin.
Secretive about it, like, shh, everyone come in here. And then Dorothy realises that little Toto is in here and starts screaming her head off. Toto!
Maybe it's a good idea that they cut that belty song out, because she wouldn't have had the vocals to do it otherwise. And then they're surrounded.
Yes.
And they get taken to the sweatshop.
Mm-hmm.
And Eveline's like, I'm going to get your shoes with a magic spell, and like tries to zap them.
Bit.
And then, like a double-jointed queen, brackets me too, her hands bend backwards.
Yeah. Oh!
Her fingers bend backwards in on themselves. I don't know if you can...
listeners, you can't see this, but Kate is bending her fingers all the way backwards. Well, not all the way backwards.
Not all the way backwards, but like an extraordinarily long way backwards. But Evelyn's go even more. It's horrid. But it's like, horrible. Great. We liked the limb rolling bit from the Judy Garland film, but we want more.
More trauma, please.
Fewer bones. And then Michael Jackson is on the table and they're about to cut him up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, give us the shoes. And he's like, don't do it. And then Nipsey's on a table as well.
What is that machine? Like a pressure? I don't know.
Like a panini press? Are they having a cheese toasty? It's some kind of like crusher.
Yeah. Thing. But they're both like, don't worry about us. We don't have feelings. No, we can't feel anything.
Feelings. Feelings. None of my friends have feelings.
But then, so they both have like reasons for like being like, don't worry, we can't feel anything. The lion is being held up by his fucking tail and is still like, don't give up the shoes, Dorothy. And they also realise he doesn't know anything about how they're magic. He just has an eye for fashion. He's like, they're an investment. They look good with anything.
Oh, because they're silver, aren't they? This we forgot to say. They're actually based on the book. And then Eveline, the campest piece of dialogue. I was like, come back, Joel Schumacher, all is forgiven. Have sex with 20,000 more men, do it, whatever.
I gasped at this.
She goes, now, would you like sauerkraut or mustard, my dear? On your hot dog! And like some flames come up. And she's about to throw Toto into this fucking furnace.
I was like, they better fucking not. I cannot handle that.
On your hot
dog! Sauerkraut!
And then Dorothy's like, okay, you can have the shoes. And she goes over to the table to lean on. I like this realistic.
Friends
you have to
lean. Excuse me.
And then Michael Jackson's like, pst, pst, look over there. And there's some sprinklers.
Yeah, which I have a qualm with.
Same. I think that's worse than leaving one bucket of water around.
Yeah, if you're allergic to water, don't have a system in place that dispenses water from the sky. You know?
And it's like, you are going against so many, like, ethical business practices here.
Yeah.
And sprinkler, you don't need them. Like, you're doing modern day slavery.
Yeah.
Like, if you're that far gone, you don't need to adhere to, like, building regulations.
Yeah. I'm allergic to aspirin. I don't, like, have aspirin falling from the sky.
You're allergic to pollen, and you do. Oh.
Shut up.
There is pollen in the air.
Yeah, but I don't dispense it on purpose.
I do.
Oh.
Oh.
Flowers are like,
Do they, dispense pollen on purpose?
Those poppies do.
They bloody do.
And Dorothy was very pleased with it.
Sliding down that tongue thing. Anyway, she pulls the sprinklers and like melts the witch.
And the whole sweatshop.
Yeah. And then they sing Brand New Day, which is a nice song.
It was fun. I downloaded it.
And then in an interlude, the workers unzip their faces and just strip down to their pants.
Yeah, and under those costumes are some very attractive actors.
They are. They're not attractive pants. I do not like that style of pant.
What, like weird...
Sorry, briefs,
thong?
whatever that... It's like a weird thong.
Yeah. It's weird.
And they're quite, like, high-waisted as well. And I'm like, just put them in some nice, like, boxer briefs. Even a jock strap. At least that would show intention.
Jockstrap feels a bit more arty. Boxer brief feels very H&M.
True. Do you remember there was a big silver statue of David Beckham in his boxers that did a tour of like H&Ms around the country? I saw it at the Trafford Centre. It was huge. And I'm thinking, let's replace every statue of a racist in this country with a silver statue of David Beckham in his boxers for H&M.
Fair enough, honestly.
Mm.
That sounds great.
I loved it. He's very fit. Anyway, they have a lovely time, sing and dance. Can't you feel a brand new day? And then the Flying Monkeys take them back to the Emerald City on the front of their motorbikes.
Mm-hmm. And they
then
sneak
they go
them
to,
in
like...
in the back door.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? I mean, I know it's important for the plot, but, like, why?
It's weird. It's not as glamorous as they remember it.
Mm-hmm.
The head's, like, flopped over.
Also, why is the head lying down? Like, what is the system with this head?
And there's, like, a little bed in the corner with a cover over it. But I saw, as they walked past the head, I heard someone go, "Guess who got head?" And I was like...
What?
What?
Guess
who got head? Yeah, I was like, this is a children's film. So I had to rewind it, and they say, "Guess who got had?" And they're like, they realise the jig is up, and they've been conned.
Oh,
but
yes, I
like,
do remember that, yeah.
You could be like, "How is your head?" That would be hilarious.
Had plenty of complaints about infrastructure in the city.
Yeah, he's like, "Hi, I'm Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I'm in my sad little bed. I'm plain old Herman Smith from Atlantic City."
It was a failed politician who wanted to be a dog catcher because he couldn't get elected. That was weird, and got lost in a storm.
Michael pulls out a quote from his penis shoulder or whatever, and quotes, "Public office is the last refuge of the incompetent." And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Except for Jacinda Ardern.
Apart from
and Diane Abbott. Jacinda and Diane will allow.
And, oh God, I've forgotten her name, the MP for Tooting. She's great.
Oh, I don't know her.
She's a doctor, so she keeps going, "You're wrong," about literally everything the government says.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's a quote from Penrose, in case anyone's interested. Wrote that down. Don't know who Penrose is, but it's kind of a camp name.
Yeah.
He was like doing a hot air balloon thing to campaign.
Oh yeah.
For his election as a dog catcher, and then he landed in Oz because it went wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Richard's like, "Oh, I'm so sad. Please stay here and be my friend forever." And Dorothy's like, "No,
probably not.
No.
Probably not."
And then I like how instead of like in the Judy Garland one, he doesn't get his bag of tricks out.
Yeah, I like this.
I quite like how like he's like, "I am a con man. You got me, gal."
And also, I'm shit. I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, I like the fact that he doesn't have the realization about how they're going to get what they want.
Mm-hmm. Because like Professor Marvel from the old one is like, here's some things for you. Here's some and like we don't ever see the glam Emerald City people again, and it's kind of like, bam, we're all fucking sad. Yes, we are, Richard. Yeah. Yes, we are. But then, so it's Dorothy who's like, did you not see that you had it all along?
Yes. And she's like, Scarecrow, you came up with every smart decision. And I'm like, oh, he did, yeah. Lion, you never gave up, even when you were strung up by the tail. And I was like, no, he didn't. And she's like, and Tin Man, you have so much heart, and I'm sure there's evidence, but hey, look over there, whoa! Like, she's just making shit up. Dude.
And then she sings a lovely song to them, Believe in Yourself. And she sings it. And then Lena Horne and her Space Babies appear. And they're like, now, Dorothy, we liked what you did with that song. But here's how you really do it. And she does the biggest reprise of any song ever.
She's doing so fucking much.
She's like, woo, yeah. Believe in yourself. Yeah. Like, yes, Lena. And your Space Babies who look really unenthused.
Yeah. She's very exposition through song queen. Like, she's like, oh, if you clap your heels together. And Dorothy's like, oh, you're saying if I clap my heels together? And she's like, yes, make it. Where are my girls at? Make your heels clap.
Make your heels clap. And then Richard's like, can I have a quick favour? And Dorothy's like, no, you fucking can't. He's like, you've got those powerful shoes. Do you want to do something for me? And she's like, do it for your fucking self. I'm like, good, fair enough. Mm-hmm. And then Michael says something like, the true love is the friendship we found along the way, or something twee. And she's like, that's a lovely quote. Who said that? And Michael goes, I did. I'm like, oh, because he's no longer quoting other people. He's quoting himself. Oh, little Michael.
Yes.
And then Lena Horne says, think of home. And when I tell you, Diana fucking thinks of home.
Oh! Oh my god. This was incredible.
The song Home is such a good song.
Can I... like the final, I don't know, in my trilogy of gay research about this, apparently this song is really important. So I've got it written down. Kenyon Farrow writes, one reason that the black gays of the classic era love this song, in my opinion, is that it speaks to the pain of feeling cast out of the larger black community. We have no home, in a sense. The song is about a stateless person, someone who has dreams of a physical place, but the lesson that they learn is that home has to be made in the family and community we create.
Love that.
Yeah. And I was like, ah!
Have you seen Pose?
Yeah, I'm like partway through the first series.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm going to spoil it for you. They sing Home.
Ah! Oh my god. Who sings it?
It's heartbreak. Blanca and Billy Porter.
Oh my god.
And it's honestly heartbreaking. And then I remembered that Kristen Chenoweth sings it in Glee.
Okay. Why is Glee constantly disappointing us?
There is like a joke where Kristen's like, I'm going to go and do an all-white production of The Wiz. And I'm like,
what?
People do. Did you
What?
know
No.
that, like... So, this is kind of similar topic, but Hairspray, the licensing of Hairspray, doesn't ban you from doing it with an all-white cast.
What would be the goddamn point of that?
I wish I could tell you.
Do they back up? No.
Well, I myself, in school, was in an all-white production of Hairspray.
Oh, no. Who were you? Corny Collins or something?
I was Zac Efron, Link Larkin, so it's fine.
Oh my god, that's cute.
I was a white person. But, like, you had to wear, like, white clothes if you were white and black clothes if you were black.
No. That's really
It's very difficult to find an all-white suit. It looked a bit like Liberace.
Yeah, that's the problem with this production.
But something that's like, there was a picture. So it's not all great things in New Zealand. It was a professional production in New Zealand, and they were all white in Hairspray.
A professional, as in like,
and there's
on the stage, like people paid.
Yeah, and there's I do actually remember this. In the front of the script is a letter from the writers, and including John Waters, I think, as well.
Oh, really? Which
is like, we don't want to stop anybody from doing this show if they want to do this show. Like, yes, because they give you money. But just don't black up. Just don't put black makeup on.
The one thing we ask, they shouldn't have had to. The thing is, I don't think a show should have to specify that there has to be an all-black cast. Not all-black, sorry, you know what I mean. The appropriate characters played by black actors. Because that should be common fucking sense, quite frankly. Oh my god.
But I think I saw like a Twitter thing atting them. I don't know if there was like an actual like petition.
Mm-hmm.
But I will certainly look into that, and if there is, I shall share it on the social media.
Sorry.
Like the writers of the show.
Oh, okay.
And the people who license it, being like,
I see.
Don't let people do it if it's just going to be white people.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess what I'm saying is you shouldn't have to do that, but if people insist on doing all-white productions, I guess you fucking have to.
But it's almost as if there are hundreds of musicals that...
Just don't do Hairspray.
I mean, the majority of musicals were originally done with white casts because that is the racist nature of Broadway. Something that, like, things like The Wiz changed.
Yes, exactly.
Some things that Miss Saigon didn't completely change.
What I was literally about
Jonathan
to
Price.
ask about Miss Saigon. Please tell me they always cast, like, not a white person. Well, specifically That's
there
not
was
the
a
Vietnam
school
War,
near me,
right?
like a sixth form near me that did Miss Saigon, but I never saw it, so I don't know if they had any.
But hang on, but like in the West End and Broadway version,
or Asian people. Yeah, but as we've spoken before on this podcast, in the original, Jonathan Price was a white man, played a Vietnamese character. Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fucking hell, sorry. There's not much to say about that apart from what the fuck.
Mm-hmm. The world of musical theatre is very, very racist. But there are some good shows that celebrate people of colour. The Wiz. Even though, I mean, the music was written by a black man, but the Broadway script was written by a white man. The screenplay was a white man. This was directed by a white man.
What? It was directed by a white man?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? What? I'm so upset.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point? Oh my god.
Things need to change.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, this podcast is almost as long as the actual film.
no, the film is 2.5 hours.
It's 2 hours 10 minutes, isn't it?
Okay, it's almost 2.5 hours.
Okay. So she arrives.
I realised at the end of this,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just over, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no reunion thing. Just her feet change. No, her shoes change. I mean,
Yeah.
You've got different feet. My main issue with like all of the Wizard of Oz kind of things is that Dorothy is presented as a person who struggles to form like deep, meaningful connections with anybody. Like, she's got no friends except for the dog in all of these.
Yeah.
And then when she forms 3 deep, meaningful connections with people in quick succession, she's immediately like, I'm going. I'm done now.
I feel that, honestly.
I don't want to stay. Like, I feel like they need to present Dorothy more as someone who, like, they never present home as being that great.
Yeah. I guess in
I'd
the
fucking
first
stay
original,
there.
her relationship with Aunt Em and Uncle Henry seemed quite nice. You know? And it's just the evil dog catcher that's the problem. And she runs away because of one incident. Right? Whereas with the second one, it's more like consistent sort of, I don't know.
Return to Oz, I'd be like, you tried to electrify me. I'm going to stay here with my chicken and my green lady in a mirror.
And for the past 6 months, I've just been having a lovely time in my own little world, and you've been going, there's something wrong with you. Like...
Exactly.
This one, I guess they're just trying to make her... This one makes a little more sense to me, because they're trying to make her branch out, have new experiences. She does. She goes, I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go and have my own experiences at home.
Yeah.
I fucked
There's
a
like
puppy
tough
lady.
love going on here.
Like, possibilities are endless.
Well, I mean, this is a theme that we could explore in more depth next week as well. When we round out June Whitfield June.
Yes. Are you gonna say
she's not going to be in that one either. She's not there. I think we should save it.
Okay, cool.
What I will say is the witch will be in the house.
I mean, I don't know
Cryptic.
what you're talking about.
You haven't seen it, have you?
No.
But I know that you're going to hate it, and we also could talk about maybe another sexual miscreant who's also in the film next week.
Okay, we're going to have to sign off so you can tell me exactly what the fuck you're talking about. So, that's been the end of the podcast. Leave a comment, rate, subscribe, review, all that.
Tell a friend, tell June Whitfield, tell a sexual miscreant
tell a sexy
they
poppy.
should stop. Don't be a paedophile.
No. We made that perfectly clear.
Yes, we did. If that's what you took away from this, you've not been listening.
I'm pretty sure we made it perfectly clear.
Just in case anyone had forgotten.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media at Queers Gone By on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at KateButch1 on both of them.
And I'm Caitlin R. Powell on Instagram and Caitlin PWLL on Twitter.
Can I... Oh, sorry, I know you've done yours, and I don't want to, trample on your social media, but I recently posted a TikTok on my newish TikTok account, and I don't think it got the likes it deserved. Well, it's my mashup of Singing in the Rain and Rain on Me, which took me a fucking long time.
Which you sent me at like 1 a.m. or something.
To be fair, I originally posted it at like 1 a.m. and then I reposted it.
Wise.
But it's still not gaining the traction that I would like.
It's a great time. I mean, I haven't liked it because I don't have TikTok, but you know.
That's fair enough. Yeah. If you've got TikTok, find me on @KateButch1.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week for some Tracy Tuesday on Tuesday, obviously. And June Whitfield, the final instalment of June Whitfield June.
Yes.
It's come round so quick, hasn't it?
It has. This month, I'll tell you.
Bloody hell. What is time?
Non-existent at this stage.
What is feeling?
What is this feeling?
Feeling. Wicked.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck off. It's too long.
Thank you for listening, and we shall
listening.
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.